Unbelievable, dude. We had someone try to fucking like ruin the whole show, man. Oh man, actually, no, dude. Like, actually, like, not good. Like, not fucking like a passable situation, man. Not even one of those. It's not. No, not a joke. Not something frivolous. Just no. We had someone try to fucking ruin the whole thing from the in a really bad way. We had someone try to ruin the whole thing from in a really bad way. Man, you want to talk about bad show? A bad show, dude. Here's an example of a really fucking bad show, dude. if a mass shooting occurs at my fucking show, dude. God, I must have sucked. Now, if I anger that one guy and he shoots me and only me, I'm like, okay, I probably just pissed off that one guy. But but if I start talking on stage and that guy shoots me and everyone else, I'm fired, dude. Fire me. Even though I'm dead, still fire me. Even though I'm dead now, still fire me. Because you cannot allow that to happen. It would be like this. It'd be like this, dude. We're playing football, dude. We're playing football offense. And I'm coaching. And I'm like, okay, so obviously don't fucking like run the wrong way, right? Like obviously don't run the wrong way to the other end zone. Don't obviously, like, but then there's like there's people like this that like they try to take it to the nth. It's like, well, you didn't tell me I could fucking like stand in the backfield and fucking hire a construction crew to like dig a ditch 6 feet deep and like bury me alive underneath. On second down, it's like I didn't know I had to mention that. I didn't know I had to mention to not do a live funeral for yourself during the play. I didn't know I had to mention that. Oh, okay. Okay, interesting. Okay. For next year, I'll fucking let the guys. This kid decided to fucking hire construction workers to fucking start shoveling. I don't know how that helps us finish with more points than the other team. It's like the old inbounds play in basketball, and you have some guy runs to the fucking corner and he does some stupid shit, like he just fucking starts barking like a dog just to distract the other players. It's like, and then they fucking throw the hair and fucking. The problem with that is you can only do it once. I don't disagree with that. That works. Like I don't disagree with the fact that like that does work, but you can only do it once. So unless you fucking the next game you have them run a play where somebody flies around like a fucking eagle, like you got it, like he fucking. Yeah, keep building on it. Like you got to, like you can't once, like you can only do that once. Like, although, okay, well, if you're good, if you're skilled, I guess. If you're playing basketball from the perspective of like, let's have fun with this, you know, whatever. Or we're gonna be NFL players or something like that, but we're fucking playing basketball, whatever. Um, like, okay, well, let's run an offense. Let's fucking, every fifth play down the court, like, someone has to fucking bark like a dog. You'll still fucking win some of the games. And, like, you know, these come-up leagues and stuff like that, it's not even, like, official high school ball and stuff like that. Oh, my God, dude. Oh, my God. If you're not banking on the sport of basketball, then if you're good enough to still win, that's the thing that people don't understand, is like the person that can pull that off is the person that's good enough to still win. Like, goof off 5 plays of the game, just fucking, but still win. Coach, we still won. Yeah, against this team as a stalwart, I'm playing fucking to the grindstone. Okay, but against this team we have an advantage on. I'm gonna, on 5 plays down the court. It doesn't matter if we still win. You know, it doesn't matter. Okay. Now that person, that player that does that, when they do it skillfully, actually, they're actually more valuable to us than the coach, who's like this stingent fucking person that, like, no, obviously don't, you can't do that, you're like, whatever. That person who's doing the fucking things, they understand that, like, this is like media, this is like entertainment. Like, we have to entertain people, we have to have people like buy the fucking seats and fucking buy the popcorn and stuff like that also, otherwise this doesn't fucking work. So on 3 plays down the court, I just fucking, like, you know, broke out fucking dance moves, whatever, and we still won. No, dude. I think, well, it depends on if it's a boy or a girl. If it's a boy or if it's a girl. I don't mind. I mean, it could be either. You know, it could probably be either, but it's 50 of each. If you do, okay, so if you do 2 of them, then the chance of you getting a girl, at least one, is, I mean, obviously higher. Obviously higher. So, $75%. Whatever, I don't know. It doesn't really matter. I mean, yeah, if they're male, then you okay, so you put them in golf, right? Because why do you put them in golf? Now is putting them in golf enough? Not really. I mean, even Tiger Woods was like, I probably wish I was in like football and stuff. You know, or rugby or something like that. Even he was like, yeah, I probably wish I, you know, sports like that, they're okay, but you can get them all to good places. Depends on without it being like too much effort. Like, it's just, you gotta drag them around to fucking these you know, trainers and different coaches and stuff like that. It's like, no, dude, you gotta be a little more like parkour type of mentality, which is like, here's a fucking chance for us to fucking play. Here's a fucking chance for us to play. More like, you know, skateboarder, parkour type of like mentality of like, you know, like if there's a basketball hoop, let's fucking play on the basketball hoop a little bit. Let's keep it moving. Okay, another basketball hoop. Okay, fucking keep moving. You know, chance for us to work on like jumping stuff and stuff. Over here, boom, do that a little bit. We'll fucking go over here. A chance for us to fucking work sprint, you know, track sprints and stuff. Okay, fucking do that. You know, you're rolling around and getting different stuff like that. There's no trainer there. That's just you and your buddies. That's just you and your friends, and seeing who's gonna end up being the ones that go far A lot of times that'll beat your people that are too, like, you know. And also, you don't have to, like, it's not a requirement to, like, be a great high school player to, like, play in the NBA. Although, generally, it probably makes sense and probably is probably something you want to do. But it's not a requirement. Like, if by some fucking crazy fucking combination of influences of your life that you happen to be 23 years old and just fucking, like, apply for the NBA, essentially, I mean, what would you do? I mean, you try to work your way into basically where they have, like, NBA, like, pro player runs, and if you can somehow hold your own in those, then you can put yourself in a spot where maybe, you know, you could have that come true. But you'd want to, for one, be super smart. Your model for doing something like that would probably be like John Stockton or something like that. You got to bring a lot of defense and a lot of heart and a lot of leadership, and you want to just fucking pound the rock. It's like, basically, you got to be so strong. You got to have, like, big, strong fucking hands from fucking playing football and stuff like that, like linebacker. Fucking tape your fucking fingers up and fucking play with, like, broken fingers and shit like that. But then also, a lot of people don't know how to do basketball. You think basketball is hip-hop. Basketball is not hip-hop. Like, it's kind of become that. That's not really what it is. Like, just because that's what it's sort of become is not really what it is. You can be from the fucking South and fucking play basketball. You can be from anywhere. You can be your lunch pail. You can be, you know, your farmer basketball player. You can be that. Passing. Defense, which means, like, communication, like, be a leader. So you're probably maybe playing some football defense too, because you got to be a leader. It's the same thing. So if you learn football defense, then that helps you on basketball defense. You're the vocal one, because you got to be the vocal one. You got to be calling everything out. That helps you, like, more than you realize. Okay, and then on offense, that's more like, you got to be the leader there. So where do you fucking learn how to be a leader there? That's football offense, like quarterback or something. I mean, if you hit those two, then if you played quarterback and you played linebacker, what some people will do, talk about a fucking double bind, is you do a fall football season and a spring football season, and then you position flip. You played quarterback in the fall, you play linebacker in the spring. Boom, double bind, like fucking, like, triple enchantments. You know, through, like, this sevenfold of you know, never escapes. But sometimes you do that, so a player, like, you can play wide receiver in the fall, and then you play, you know, cornerback in the spring. Now, why does that actually work? Why does that actually help you? Or maybe it's safety if you're taller or something. Well, like, does that actually develop you into a better player? If hypothetically we ran multiple football seasons in the high school year, so we can have guys, essentially the idea is play a different position on one season as the other, is basically the point of that. So it's not to, like, win the fucking state championships. It's player development. So if I have you learning both wide receiver and safety equally, and, like, now when you're a safety, you're a safety. Like, you're not a dual position player. Something like, during that season you are the fucking safety, and then on the other season you are the wide receiver. Like, you are that person. Okay, so you don't have to worry about playing both and all these different things. Okay, you can have your focus on it. So now you're developing both of those. Now it's like, when the NFL comes, man, you're a little more developed because you've played on both the offense and the defense. You're a little bit more developed, so you're like, you really are like a coach on the, no matter where they play you, whatever side they choose, you know, it gives, like, whoever is above recruiting the option to choose. They can choose, do we want this guy? It's not really the position. It's more like, do you want this guy on the offensive side or the defensive side? And then you decide from there. It depends on what your body type sits at. One of the things that is like the kind of like the hidden thing that some intellectuals might try to get to, it's kind of rooted in like jujitsu. It's been kind of floating around for a bit, but it's like the idea that, you know, if you know your technique so well, like if this particular position generally requires people to be 265 to 270 pounds, is it possible? Is it theoretically possible that someone could play that position at 190 pounds? If they just know their technique and whatever, they know how to do it correctly. I can see a guy lift a fucking barbell, right? Who, you know, I can see a guy lift a fucking barbell that's 500 pounds, right? And the guy is like 270 pounds. And I can also see a guy that's like 190 pounds lift the same fucking barbell, or maybe 50 pounds less. So there's like, this guy's like 180, 190 pounds. Boom, he's lifting up the fucking barbell easily. This guy's 270 pounds, he's lifting up the same barbell. Okay, well, it's generally, like, it's easier to, generally speaking, to be the heavier weight and do it, but this particular player proved that in his instance, it didn't matter. Like, he was able to increase his strength regardless. Okay, so, you know, could somebody legitimately play maybe like linebacker or like defensive end at like way less of a weight? Well, here's the reason why. Here's the rationale as to why the answer is yes. Wide receiver. You used to have to be 230 pounds to play the wide receiver position. Now you can be like 190. Now you can be like 180 pounds. So you used to have to be like 235 pounds to play receiver. You used to have to be fucking the ultimate fucking athlete. The fucking decathlon winner with the fucking big legs and the fucking big arms and upper body and stuff like that. You used to have to be all of that. Now you can be, you know, fast and be like 190, you know, pounds and stuff like that. So if that's the case, then it just requires someone to go out there and do it, though. Like, you can't rest on fucking having an opinion out there. It would have to have been proven by someone. Could someone, you know, do it? But it isn't the most interesting thing in the world. More of the interesting thing in the world, you know, we're trying to get to 240 pounds would be good. That's a lot of cookies. That's a lot of cookies, man. Because then you can dial it back to like 230, 232, 234, something like that. You have to do certain things for like income and whatever. To do certain things for like income and whatnot. If you gotta take care of like children, then I mean, you gotta, like, first and foremost, it's like in most cases, if the woman has a job, like she doesn't have a job anymore, like you're pregnant. That's your job. Your job is you're pregnant, obviously. So you gotta do stuff accordingly. You gotta do something within a skill set that you have. You gotta do something within a natural skill set of that which you have. And only you know that. So you don't need to go to anybody else and fucking say what you can do. Because the person that you're saying what you can do to, they never really did anything amazing in their life, most likely. A lot of people, they never really hit the fucking huge heights themselves. And so I don't know what their advice or their response back would even do. I don't know how that would even, if you believe that you can be an NFL wide receiver, you have to hold that within yourself, because I don't know that anyone can. You have to hold that belief, like no matter what, you have to always hold that belief. As long as you're within range of it. Because like plenty of guys, like they play at the fucking, like small school. Like so many guys play at the small school, but they just fucking stick with it and stick with it and stick with it. When their fucking chance comes, they go to these fucking combines and different things like that. Somehow fucking get on some practice squad, or, but that's if you're like 20 and stuff like in that 24, 23, 25 range. When you're past your 30s, then, I mean, you could work your way into coaching. This is like guys that like, they focus so much on sports and stuff. You can work your way into the promotion, into the marketing, into the management, into becoming maybe a general manager, or part of the scout team, or, a head coach, or part of the, coaching staff and stuff like that. There's plenty of jobs. Those are merit-based jobs. Like, and it ultimately comes down to winning. Okay, so whatever you have to do, like you might have this particular role, but your interactions with the different players and the coaches and stuff like that is so engaging. You're pumping people up, you're having them feel good and different things like that. The team begins to win just with you, like, being cool and like lifting everybody up, and they're all in a good mood, they're laughing more and stuff like that. That's like as big of a role as these fucking like number crunchers fucking like choosing their fucking players, dude. Just having somebody like fun that's like going around fucking making like cracking a joke and fucking making everybody feel good and stuff like that probably does more for the fucking team than the fucking analytics department.